Hello, I'm Sharyl Attkisson. Welcome to Full Measure. We begin today with a reality check on the Affordable Care Act and the dramatically rising cost of health insurance for ordinary Americans. According to independent research, millions of people are watching their premiums skyrocket to new highs this year. There's also a reverse impact for some who used to have policies but can no longer afford them under Obamacare. For them, it's a case of costly care. When you first heard about Obamacare, were you excited at the idea you might be able to afford some good insurance?
Oh, at first I was. And then I just got so disappointed with it.
Janet Hill is a professional transport driver in Fernandina Beach, Florida. When she took a new job that didn't provide insurance, she priced out policies and got severe sticker shock.
They told me it'd be $400 or $500 a month. I cannot afford that.
Hill joins an emerging class that's an unintended side effect of the Affordable Care Act, the newly uninsured. It's not part of the rosy portrait painted by President Obama.
Up to 129 million Americans with pre-existing conditions no longer face the risk of being denied coverage or being charged more just because they've been sick. 137 million Americans with private insurance are now guaranteed preventive care coverage.
Under Obamacare, a new reality is setting in. More people have health insurance, but for millions, policies cover less and cost more. Nathan Nascimento is a senior policy advisor at Freedom Partners, a libertarian-leaning nonprofit that opposes Obamacare.
People are seeking out insurance plans, but what they're realizing is they just can't afford the monthly premium, and they just can't afford the deductibles and out-of-pocket costs. What good is having a health insurance coverage or an insurance card in your wallet if you can't afford the treatment that you're getting?
Nascimento says it's turning out just like the fictional Harry and Louise worried it would in a 1994 ad campaign opposing health care reform.
This was covered under our old plan.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, wasn't it?
Things are changing, and not all for the better. The government may force us to pick from a few health care plans designed by government bureaucrats.
The ad, sponsored by an insurance industry coalition, helped defeat so-called Hillary Care, promoted by then First Lady Hillary Clinton.
Having choices we don't like is no choice at all.
Yeah, they choose.
We lose.
What they were saying back then is exactly what we're experiencing right now. The fact that healthcare costs are going to go up, that out-of-pocket costs are going to go up, that government-run healthcare is going to be a failed model. And that's what we're seeing exactly today. We're seeing people being harmed by the Affordable Care Act.
Here's how the numbers stack up. The vast majority of the newly insured, 10 million, are people now allowed to get insurance from Medicaid, taxpayer-funded insurance for the poor. The Affordable Care Act expanded Medicaid to people making more money than before. Another 10 million Americans who earn too much from Medicaid still get taxpayer help to buy insurance in the form of Obamacare subsidies. Everyone else pays full price and must choose a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum plan. Bronze plans have the lowest monthly premiums, but large deductibles. At the other end, platinum plans have high monthly premiums, but smaller out-of-pocket responsibilities. Most Americans have silver plans somewhere in between. Last week, President Obama touted the supposed affordability.
Most folks buying a plan on the marketplace can find an option that costs less than $75 a month.
But we looked at the numbers for 2016, and in no state could we find average policies priced even close to $75. Washington, D.C. has the cheapest silver premium average at $203. The national average is close to $300. That's according to the private health nonprofit Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, which finds overall premiums are up more than 12% in 2016. States hit hardest according to the data: Hawaii, Montana, Minnesota, and Alaska, all with average silver plan premium increases above 30%. Alaskans are paying $169 per month more than last year. North Carolina, Utah, Kansas, West Virginia, Tennessee, Oklahoma are all seeing hikes between 20 and 30%.
What we've seen is that most states, 49 out of 50, are seeing premium increases. The only state where there was a decrease was Mississippi, and that was slight. It was 0.2%. 17 states are seeing double-digit increases. There are some states that are seeing a 30% or higher, including Minnesota, which is nearing 47, almost 48% premium increases for the upcoming year.
Yet as recently as October, the Obama administration quoted a 7.5% increase and said most consumers would find plans for less than $100 a month. Premium hikes are only half the burden. Deductibles are up too, 7.8% this year on average for silver plans, worse in places like Mississippi with an average 42% increase, working out to $1,473 extra for the year, and Washington State averaging a 47.6% increase or $1,090 more in that state. No matter how much it costs or how little it covers, having insurance is now the law, and more have gotten insured.
As the Affordable Care Act has taken effect, nearly 18 million Americans have gained coverage. In fact, for the first time ever, more than 90% of Americans are covered.
I think the Obama administration is trying to save a law that they know is failing everybody. First and foremost, the Obama administration has always put the emphasis on their metrics of success, which is putting an insurance card in everyone's hand. The premium increases was less important to them.
In round numbers, 10 million have gotten expanded Medicaid, 4 million people have picked up insurance buying their own policies, and 3 to 4 million are young adults covered on their parents' plans. But nobody's counting how many previously insured are now going without, like Janet Hill. She's paying a price, a $325 penalty tax in 2015, $695 this year. And so you're going without insurance.
Exactly.
There's a penalty that comes with that.
I'm aware of that.
You're just going to have to pay the penalty.
That's all I can do. I cannot afford insurance.
There's another downside. She broke her shoulder and says she just has to live with it because doctors won't see her without insurance. And meantime, you have a broken shoulder?
Yes, it was fractured. Because I don't have no insurance, they do not want to take me. So I've just got aggravated and said I'll deal with it myself.
The Congressional Budget Office now says the Affordable Care Act will cost nearly $2 trillion over the next 10 years. That doesn't count the estimated $7 billion in taxes spent on the various websites, and it doesn't count the individual costs many Americans are paying as their premiums and deductibles rise. Ahead on Full Measure, we go to Iowa, where it's not exactly the issues that are attracting attention.